Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. On a previous video, somebody asked if I was going to do a Grand National analysis. If you've been watching my videos, I've gone over it quite a few times. If you're new to my videos, I will just talk about the 5 that I'm going to have running for me in the Grand National. And the first one is Any Second Now. I highlighted him earlier this season as being what I felt was the unlucky loser in the race last year. Got hampered at like the 9th or 10th fence, I think it was. I don't think it was Bundor. I think it was one of the others. Double shuffle, I think, fell and hampered Any Second Now. He lost 10, 15 lengths in that being hampered. But also he would have lost momentum. He would have lost a bit of stamina, a bit of speed, everything, because if you've got a petrol gauge and it's 100% and you run into something, it takes a bit out of you, and it would have taken a bit out of Any Second Now. I think he had to use his finishing effort to actually close on the field rather than try and win the race. And that just cost him late on. I was concerned when the marks came out, because we were already on Any Second Now by then. I was concerned because he'd gone up £7 from last year. For an unlucky loser to go up £7, I thought was a little bit harsh. However, when he then ran at Fairyhouse and he ran down Escaria 10, I was very pleased with that and very encouraged with that, because, spoiler alert, Escaria 10 is one of my other ones. I thought the fact that he ran him down was a very good effort. We know he's got the speed. He's won twice over 2 mile. We know he's got the stamina. He went well for a long way in the Grand National, and I don't actually think his stamina let him down. It was, what happened during the race. And I think he is the right horse to be right near the top of the market. The favourite's going to be Snow Leopardess, because there's so many fun, better angles. She's a grey. She's a she. She's a mum. She's got 3 1s next to her name. I think there's so many. Oh, I've got to back that because it's a mare. I've got to back that. Look, it's got form of 1-1-1. It's going to win again. She might well do. She's definitely going to run a big race. It's all about getting the trip for her. But she's not one of my 5. Moving on to the second one, who is one of my 5, and it's Burrows Saint. Now, Burrows Saint was a little bit disappointing in the race at Fairyhouse. That said, I would imagine when it was clear he wasn't going to win the race, he would have been looked after, because the Grand National has surely been the plan all along for him since he finished 4th in it last year. He travelled exceptionally well last year. You can see he traded at 90% lower than his off price. He only went off 9-1, and he returns off the same mark, and I think he can go very well again. It's all about whether he just gets that, has a little bit more stamina this year, and that helps him get home. If it does, the way he travelled was very impressive, and I think he's done nothing wrong this season. His only poor run for me was actually at Fairyhouse, when he was beaten by Any Second Now and Escaria 10, but he was so well beaten by those 2. If he steps forward from that race, I think he can go very close. I don't know what price you can get about him now. It's not massive, 20, 22s. I'm not telling you what prices we've got. If you've watched my videos, you'll know. There's no point saying, oh, I've got this price, I've got this price. Well, I can't get it now if you're watching this video. So there's no point talking like that. So I think Burrows Saint can certainly give you a good run for your money. I think he's one of the ones that I think is a good each way bet. I do think he will place. It's whether he's quite got enough to win the race. The third horse I want to talk about now, I think this horse is very much overpriced in the market. He's going to run off a £1 higher mark than what he was running off last year. And what he ran off last year meant he went off the 11-2 favourite for this race. You can currently get 28-1 about him. Yeah, but he pulled up. He did pull up, but he went well for a long way. And interestingly, I've read today that he had a displaced epiglottis. And what that means is it's basically, instead of a flap of skin covering the breathing tube when they eat, so they don't swallow their food wrong. It was covering the air tube when he was running, which obviously meant he couldn't breathe. And, I imagine that would have meant it would have caused him to stop. And he did stop. He stopped very quickly. He didn't stop like, he's slowly dropping back. He went from being right up there at Canal Turn to suddenly, I think it was like 1 fence later, to pulling up. He pulled up far too quick for it not to have been an issue. And they gave him surgery. His runs this season, they've been fine. I thought he ran a really good race when he was third at Doncaster. On ground that won't suit him. The better the going, the better he will run. Hopefully there's not as much rain. I do believe the forecast has slightly changed and it doesn't look like there's going to be as much rain. But he went well for a long way at Doncaster. And this has clearly been the plan to come back. They obviously knew that there was an issue last year. I think if they genuinely felt it's just that he didn't stay, they wouldn't have looked at coming back here again. They would have run in races that he could have won or could have gone close in. Instead, I think they've just been running him in races to get his mark to come back down so that when they turn up at Aintree, he's off a workable mark. And now they've fixed the issue, he can go very close. So I actually think he's very, very overpriced at 28-1. I think I would have him more of the 12s and 14s because, he went off 11-2 last year and there was an issue. If you took that issue out, I think he goes very, very close. The fourth horse, as I mentioned earlier, is Escaria 10, and I think this horse is perfect for the Grand National. I really do. And his effort at Cheltenham behind Galvin and Next Destination last season was very good, over 3 mile 5. Galvin ran well in the Gold Cup. Next Destination is a former Grade 1 winner over hurdles. Escaria 10 ran a really good race. Interestingly, I think back in 5th was Snow Leopardess. I think it was remastered that was 4th. Snow Leopardess was 5th. And yet Snow Leopardess is, Snow Leopardess is 7s. Escaria 10 is 12s. So I think Escaria 10 maintains that form, personally. Went to Fairyhouse for the Irish Grand National and it all went wrong at the start. They messed about with a false start. He ended up not getting into a prominent position and they pulled him up quite quickly. At Gowran Park, he ran really well in the 30s chase at Gowran for a long way. Moved into it really well and I thought, this horse is going to win here and go up in the handicap because I'd already got him for the Grand National. He then dropped away, which was good. It was his first run for 297 days. He dropped away. He finished 8th, but went into a lot of people's notebooks from then for the Grand National. He then went to Fairyhouse, as I said, and finished second to Any Second Now. I don't mind too much being beaten by Any Second Now because I think Any Second Now is going to go close. I think Escaria 10 is also going to go close. If Adrian Heskin can get him in, it doesn't have to be right at the front, but just behind the leaders, out of trouble as well, I think Escaria 10 can go very, very close here. And I know the McNeils have said that if they can win the Grand National, it will make all other results irrelevant. They'll be absolutely delighted. And, good luck to them. I think he will run a really big race if he gets round. The final horse I've got in my 5 is... This is where some people might go, well, that's the end of that video. Not that one. It is this horse here. Yep, Santini. Santini is so well handicapped now, and I think he's always been crying out for a trip. He's always wanted further, and I actually think he's run okay in his last few races. He didn't run badly in the Gold Cup. He's not a Gold Cup horse, but his handicap marks suggest that, and he's always suggested that he just wants to go for 4 miles. Some people reckon he wants 30 miles and, he's a boat. I think he's better than a boat. I think he's got a bit of class about him. I think he generally jumps quite well. I would want to see him quite forward, sit in second or third and just keep pushing along, keep rowing the boat. And I think he'll actually run a really big race. He's down to such a well suitable handicap mark for him, from what he has been, that if he jumps round, I would be surprised if he stays, if he doesn't finish in the top 5 or 6 here. I really do believe Santini is going to run a really big race, and people are going to go, oh, he wasn't bad. I kind of think along the lines of Black Lion with him. He's Black Lion's placed twice in the Grand National. That's what I think Santini could do. Whether he's quite going to be good enough to win this race, I don't know, but I was more than happy to take a big price about Santini for the Grand National. So they're my 5. If I was only to pick 2, it would be the 2 shortest ones. It'd be Escaria 10 and Any Second Now. I do think Cloth Cap and Santini are interesting. I think Burrows Saint, if he has a little bit more stamina this year, can go very close. Cloth Cap is all about that breathing. If it's worked, he will go close. And Santini, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. So they are my 5. In terms of the race, Delta Work beat Tiger Roll. He's right to be a short price. Snow Leopard has got all the form. Enjoy Dallin has got good form and bought by JP McManus. Eclair Surf finished second to Win My Wings. He went up £14 after that. Fiddler on the Roof has run well. Manila Times won it last year. Longhouse Poet has won the 3 mile... can't think what it's called, when he beat Franco de Port. Run Wild Fred just keeps running well. Fire Class was 5th in this last year. Kildesart is nicely handicapped. I'm not sure he quite will get the trip. The Rasher Counter is well handicapped. There's plenty in this that have angles, without a doubt. But I'm hoping that I've got the winner in my 5. Good luck if you follow any of those. Good luck if you're already on. If you're not on those and you're not on, and you're not going to back any of those, and you've got other horses, I hope you don't win, because I hope I win. And that's just obvious. But hopefully all horses can get around safely. That's the main thing. Even if they fall, let's hope they don't badly hurt themselves. Have a great rest of the week. There will be some more videos to come. I will be doing previews of day 1 and 2 of Aintree. Thanks for listening, and good luck with all the selections this week.